Hey guys, happy Sunday. Welcome back to Speaking360. What are we going to be talking about today then? Well, I've just finished the semi-finals of stage time for the International Maxwell certification next week, which we're going to next week. And so the semi-finalists are all competing their best ever 3 minutes to try and be chosen as a finalist to be on stage in front of thousands of people. I'm going to bring them up on stage during my session in Orlando. So very, very exciting. And so today's quote was inspired by their efforts and their work because they're all great. They all did a great job. They all nailed it, as you'd expect, because they've worked hard. And so I think this quote I've chosen today from John Maxwell fits in with that perfectly. Look at this. You're going to love this. This is a beauty. It really is. John Maxwell says, spectacular results are always preceded by unspectacular preparation. That's good, isn't it? Spectacular results are always preceded by unspectacular preparation. See, everyone wants spectacular results, don't they? Everyone wants spectacular results, but not everyone wants to do the unspectacular preparation, do they? That's not so exciting. That's not so interesting. And look what he says. It's like spectacular results are not sometimes, not every now and again, maybe, but always preceded by unspectacular preparation. And it's not just preparation, it's unspectacular preparation. So there's a dullness to that, isn't there? There's a mundaneness to preparation that every professional knows. Now, when it comes to speaking, and I talk to people about preparation, most people misunderstand what I mean, and they think that all of the preparation really is done on paper, crafting their perfect speech on paper, putting together the words. Now, if your communication is written, if you're going to send an email, then that's fine. If you're going to send a letter, then it's fine to craft the words like that. But if your communication is verbal, you're going to say it, you're going to speak the message, then there's another step, isn't there? The delivery is so important. You can't ignore the delivery. It's huge. It makes such a difference. It's not just the words you say, but how you say the words and what you're doing with your body as well, why you say them. So preparation is not just on paper. That's the first mistake or misunderstanding. But then the next thing is, when you talk about practice, it's like, well, I don't really want to do that. See, preparation is the first stage. Think of that as like getting your first draft. As quickly as possible, you want to get your first draft. Why do you want to get your first draft as quickly as possible? Because then you can practice it. You can practice it, and as you practice it, you think about it, and it evolves through the practicing. So you're going to practice. You're going to watch it back, so review or listen to it back, and then you're going to go back and you're going to tweak your script. The first draft maybe goes to the second draft. As you add bits in, take bits out, then you're going to practice again and review. And you know, for something important, you may go through that cycle several times, practicing and reviewing and editing and then practicing again. So you may go through that process several times. And then when you've got the final draft, when you're happy or you've run out of time, then you're going to perform in front of the audience, aren't you? So you're going to prepare, get that first draft, you're going to practice it, you're going to review as many times as necessary, then you're going to perform, and then you're going to review that performance as well. How did it go? What lessons have you learned? So that's an upward spiral of success, not just preparing on paper, but practicing as well and reviewing and getting better and better all the time. This is how you end up being bulletproof in the delivery, so that no matter what happens, you're ready, you're equipped, you can deal with it when you're in front of the audience. So you practice hard to make sure you got it, you practice even more to make sure you got it in front of the audience when things go wrong or when things happen. Now, when I talk to people about this level of kind of preparing to be world class, to be at their very best, then people are like, well, I don't really like practicing like that. It's not really me. I don't really like practicing in front of a camera or just like recording or in front. I don't really like that. I come alive in front of an audience. You don't understand. You know, I feed off the energy of the audience. And so if I've got an audience in front of me, I'm at my best. I don't like doing it. I prefer it when I've got an audience. Well, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. I'm sure every professional prefers being in front of adoring fans. Roger Federer much prefers playing on centre court, doesn't he, than hitting tennis balls at 5 o'clock in the morning on his own. Tiger Woods, the same thing. He'd much rather play in a tournament than on the driving range on his own in the dark. Michael Phelps probably much prefers swimming in the Olympics than getting up and swimming for hours on his own. Of course. But they wouldn't be there if they hadn't mastered the art of, the unspectacular preparation, would they? Now, people say, well, when I get in front of the audience, then I'll give it everything. I really, I do my best in front of the audience. Yeah, anyone can do their best when everyone's watching. Anyone can do their best on the day of the show. Anyone can do their best when they're in front of an audience. But the fact is, if you haven't done the work, then your best isn't good enough. You can't compete with people that do. So when it comes to speaking, same thing. So it's lovely to see the semi-finalists. They've worked hard, and then they get the opportunity to show us what they can do virtually, one after another, and they nail it because they've done the unspectacular preparation. So anyone can do this. It's a great quote. Unspectacular preparation is always preceded by, spectacular results are always preceded by unspectacular preparation. And if you don't do the preparation, your best might not be good enough, even though your heart's in the right place. You've got to do the work. Now, last week I said it was, you may remember, we were off to John's birthday celebrations for National Leadership Day. When we got there, John's always delighted to see Susan. This is my wife, Susan. And yeah, John loves Susan, so it was always fun to see his reaction. And then it was a great evening. The cake was spectacular. Look at that birthday cake on the left. And there we are with Mark Cole as well, of course. So it was a really, really wonderful evening. Loads of old friends there, loads of great people, and some fantastic speakers as well. It was really, really good. Great celebration. And now, of course, 20th of February, every year, John's birthday going forward is National Leadership Day. That's it for this week. We'll see you. Oh, we won't see you next week because it's the International Maxwell Certification. We're going to be in Orlando. I'm speaking in front of a couple of thousand people in the room. That's when I'll bring the semi-finalists up as well, and they'll have their chance in front of a couple of thousand people in the room. I don't know how many there's going to be virtually, a lot virtually as well. So I may come to you like impromptu next week. So assume there's no Speaking360 next week, unless we just kind of pop up on YouTube doing something from the event. Otherwise, we'll be back the following week. So I'll see you then. Thanks for being a part of let me try that again. Thanks for being a part of Speaking360, the best part of Speaking360. And I look forward to seeing you soon, one way or another. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye. God bless.